Or NSO seat. Oh.
Mine now. Morning.
Ah, okay. Perfect.
It is
They're going to bring it to the hotel.
amazing. They know when. Today though.
Yeah. And I think there are too many.
It's not funny.
I know.
But you're laughing.
I had pajamas on, and I also had milky tea, and I found a chamomile tea bag in my bag, so that can't be it.
Where did you stay on Wednesday night?
I stayed at the hotel next to the airport because my flight was at 5 to 6. Oh, no, in London.
Right.
So I travelled through London on Wednesday, stayed in a hotel, got up 20 past 3, got my flight. So I travelled all the way on the trains, on the plane, all the
City.
Yeah,
same
just
t-shirt.
check on some of the hard appearance cases. Number 1 and 2 is hard appearance.
Oh, and my yogurt. I had to buy some yogurt last night.
Yes.
And number 4 is.
Yogurt and bread crumbs.
They haven't asked for anything different than the normal
Okay.
hand
Yeah.
signals that we would normally use, so no further changes
Do
to
you have
them.
from here?
Yeah.
It is number 5, 6.
Yeah, do you have blue?
As soon as it
Because I have both on the middle one.
You have blue.
Are we on? No. Good morning, everyone. Welcome from Malmo. I'm Gretchen Little. I'm here with Sven Will I Be Famous.
Yes, and here ready for game one of what's going to be a fantastic 3 days of roller derby here, as you say, in Malmo in Sweden. We're gearing up right now for Paris versus Dock City. So Paris Roller Derby Allstars to give them their full name against Dock City Rollers Anchors. Should really give them their full name for those at home who aren't aware of these teams.
Of course, Dock City from Gothenburg, Sweden. They are the number 12 seed out of 12 teams today. So they, of course, are coming in looking to make some magic against number 5 seed Paris.
Good morning to everyone.
Yeah, two great teams. Two teams I've seen quite recently as well at Europe. Really enjoyed watching them play. Looking forward to seeing them play today. So I think we've got time to run through the rosters. So
Why don't we do that, Sven?
I'll kick this off and I'll take us through Paris Roller Derby All-Stars, who today are going to be playing in the white. So we have 1-2 La Manche, 1-3-9-5 Leg Cité, 1-4-1 Bonnie Tiguy, 1-6-0 Moshi, 1-7 Lux, 2-2 Rose Hien, 4-9-5 All-Star Focus, 5-4 Bully Bunker, 5-6 Pass, 7-1 Lou, 7-2 Sally Broyer, 7-2-9 Gypsy Queen, 9-1-1 Guinness Paltrow, and 9-9-9 Kitty Frenetti. If you'd like to take us through the Dock City roster.
Dock City in the deep, dark blue, the navy, if you will. Number 11 will be Fraulein F. Reckless. Number 12, Pelvis Wesley. Number 18, Bowden. Number 2, Sugar High. Number 20, Bilen. Number 2077, Kafka. Number 247, Baleen. Number 3, Prince Sophia. Number 31, Malice Babs. Number 41, Stopless. Number 414, Airton. Number 421, Patty from the Block. Number 48, Moran. Number 5, High Five. And number 56, Snag. Our officials for today's contest. The non-skating officials are X-Ray Ted, Blind Low, Eagle Eye Mary, Trash Panda, Alpin Yeti, Felspeth, Supreme Overlord, Meaner Harker, Abracaflabra, Pelly Bach, and Oi You!
We'll go over our skating officials in the next after the next jam. As we're getting ready for jam 1, it looks like for Paris we're going to start off with La Manche, and I'm just trying to get a read. It is Fraulein F. Reckless is going to be kicking us off for Dock City. Once again, Paris in the white, Dock City in that navy blue.
A glimmer of hope for the Dock City Rollers in this is their most recent game against Paris. They lost, but they only lost by 50 points. And if Fraulein Reckless is any indication, the number 12 seed came to play today, Sven. Out in for the first lead of the game. Meanwhile, La Manche still has not completed that initial trip.
Great work by Stopless with a run back on La Manche. Now completes the initial trip, but we've got Fraulein F. Reckless takes the knock to the inside of turn 1. Great hit there by Sally Broyer. End that first jam.
All 4 were picked up. Fraulein Reckless, that was a good job by the Paris pack, you got to understand. They made Fraulein Reckless pass each blocker probably 3 or 4 times to make it through on that first scoring trip.
And we're going to be lining up now, and it is Prince Sophia for Dock City.
Prince Sophia
and we're being screened by the Paris jammer at the moment. But it is
number 3.
Star Focus is the jammer for Paris.
Yeah.
And Prince Sophia for Dock City. Prince Sophia making the initial moves and rolls around to pick up lead, second lead in a row already for Dock City. As you say, they've come to play even as the number 12 seed.
Quick star pass on the Paris side. That's going to be a number 141, Bonnie Tagoy. Prompts a quick call. You know what I like to see so far, Sven, is nobody in the penalty box. Of course, we both know as soon as I say that, we're going to have a rash of penalties. But that's 2 jams. Everybody playing clean in the early going.
A small pick of 2 for Dock City. So 2 jams in, small lead 6-0 as we go with
Bonnie to go for the Paris Derby. Out there, 2 jams in a row. Very important pivot.
and we've got leg CT for Paris against Bowden for Dock City.
Bowden, 3 in a row. Dock City have really figured something out. They might have watched some film, which is out there, of the Paris team. Ooh, and there's a back block. Big first mistake for Dock City. It couldn't have come at a worse time. It's going to be a power jam for legs, and that's not who you want in the power jam, Sven.
But still, Paris 1 blocker down at the moment. Kiki Frenetic is currently just being released now, so legs on the slight blocker disadvantage until Kiki comes back now. Railroads Kafka just to allow legs to get past that rear blocker, but rolled out to the inside by Snag and now taken back to the turn 1-2 apex.
Well, I don't know if you saw that, but Legs was trying to call off the jam for just a second. You can't do that. It was already a lead in the favor of Doc, and now we have Doc Jammer back on the track. That was a very impressive penalty kill by that Dock City pack, Sven. Now both teams playing hard-nosed defense. Legs getting through first. So those will be 8 points for Paris on the jam. We still got 25 seconds to go in this jam. I think everybody is a little on the it's Guinness Paltrow going to the penalty box. 4 more for Legs.
Guinness Paltrow picked up the direction of gameplay, sitting in our 187 kilohertz penalty box right now.
Oh, Bowden finally putting up those points. Boy, that was a tough break for Bowden at the beginning of the jam, getting lead and then just getting completely obliterated by the back block penalty. Wow. So Paris makes up the deficit in 1 jam with a 15-point outburst from Legs. Still hasn't established a lead in this game.
Yeah, again, just some great work there by both teams, especially on the penalty kill, as you say. But now we're going to go with Moran for Dock City, and it looks like it's Lamoche for Paris. 4-on-3 advantage to Dock City, and Moran's going to take that advantage. Only has 2 to beat on the turn 1-2 apex, forced to the inside by Bully Bunker, and starts that back from the pivot line. Meanwhile, Lamoche being held up by Berlin and Ertan at the back of the pack, constantly recycled back to that jam line.
Yeah, these teams are certainly playing like 2 teams that know each other and know their tendencies. Now there's finally a little bit of an opening. It's Lamoche. First lead for Paris.
Moran has stashed the star. And I think it's Berlin that's got the pivot stripe on at the moment.
That was a gutsy play by Lamoche. I gotta say, took that reverse pivot around on the infield between track 1 and 2, able to keep those skates in bounds. I don't think the jam ref expected that kind of fancy footwork early in the morning.
And the jam called off there by Lamoche before Moran could get through and pick up any points for Dock City. So Paris stretching their lead slightly by 4, bringing them 19-10.
Who's here cheering for Dock City? Yeah.
Well, you know, the 888 penalty box is an important part of the game. 888 is a very important part of the game in general. Currently, I think we've mentioned it, it's a fairly penalty-light contest in that 888 penalty box is completely devoid of skaters right now, Sven. We have an official timeout on the track. Doing a little bit of track maintenance, I think. So what do you see in the early going? Paris really making a lot with that 1 power jam.
Yeah, and I think Dock City, as you said, came out of the gate strong there the first 2 jams, and Paris used that power jam just to shift the momentum, and they've dominated the last 2 jams. And what we're going to see now with Star Focus and Fraulein F Reckless on the jam line, what Paris can pick up here. And the first time we're seeing Star Focus with a jam star.
This is a big jam for Dock City to try to get some of that momentum back. And number 5 for them, that's going to be High Five, doing the majority of the work. And very well done. High Five just in that backwards position, monitoring the pack, not letting Star Focus through. And so we have another Dock City lead jammer.
And I believe Gypsy Queen for Paris goes to a where 187 Kilopads penalty box. I think it was a multiplayer block. Got picked up in that. It's a slight advantage again, Dock City.
Nice hop on the inside, then going outside for the hold through the defensive formation. That's 4 points for Dock City. It's showing a lot of poise after that power jam that took the wind out of their sails.
Star Focus is looking for that star pass. And that was, if that gets handed off, it will beat the Bonnie to Girl.
Yeah, and I tell you, Dock City is very well. I think the star pass has taken place now, and Bonnie's got to watch out because did have a skate going out of bounds onto the infield. But there we go, another scoring trip completed by Fraulein F Reckless. So that's 8 points on the jam. Next point, we'll have a tie game. And that next point's going to come relatively easily. We don't know about after this. Boy, the Dock City defense has just been almost impenetrable in this jam, Sven. A star pass hasn't really helped Paris at all.
Yeah, and now we've got the situation where Bonnie is being held behind that 3 wall at the back.
Fraulein Reckless just kind of waiting to see whether she can take advantage of a little lapse of attention by the Paris defense. And how about that? Dock gets 3 more, and that'll take them to a lead. So we have had a couple of lead changes already. Only 9 minutes gone by in this first period.
And also important to note there, the Dock stopped Paris from getting the jammer out even on the initial pass in that jam. So you see, strong defense from Dock here is going to keep them in it.
And the defense has been very strong so far. AAA penalty box still open. Both teams skating cleanly right now. This is Prince Sophia with the star for Dock City. Looking like it's inevitable, but legs is inevitable also. Lead jam to Prince Sophia. Might think about taking a very quick look around. Does, calls. That shows a lot of respect for legs.
And we've got Rose Hien for Paris currently in our penalty box, so it's going to be a slight track advantage for Dock City going into this one. 19 to Paris, 21 to Dock City. Just under 10 minutes of this first game, first period played so far.
Yeah, Dock City with a 4-3 pack advantage. I want to mention 187 killer pads. They're worn by most pros in the world, and if you skate, you know why.
And we've got, it is Bowden for Dock City, but it's Lamoche for Paris that gets out with lead. Bonnie to Girl for Paris, taking Bowden all the way back to turn 3-4 there. Now while Lamoche is in and scoring for Paris through on the initial pack.
I liked what Louvre was doing, number 71 for Paris, kind of working as a battering ram for Lamoche on that trip through the pack for points.
Lamoche sneaks to the outside, loses footing, so calls off the jam. Shutting out Dock City in that one. 3-point pickup in the pass, 7 in the jam for Paris.
And we have another lead change, so if you're, we don't know what time zone you're watching in. It might be perfectly appropriate to have a beverage and tip it back once or twice here today.
I mean, it's morning here, so a nice refreshing apple juice for us possibly.
Oh, you know it, yeah. Yeah, that'll put a sparkle in my step. Okay, AAA penalty box empty as we start this next jam. This will be jam number 8 of this intense first period.
And we've got Moran for Dock City already through and picks up lead.
They are really pushing the pack. It was very close to a back block. You can see Kurt's so good taking a very close look at that contact.
Because
But
everything's happening at the same time.
good on Moran for not getting called. Got a forearm going against the Paris blocker.
That's the jammer.
That's the jammer. The star was stashed, so it is
We have a power jump.
green light power jam. Dock City, I think they're, that's not a bad call. Freeze the opposing jammer. Get organized, because it was pretty clear that the pack had, they'd been focused on lockdown there and weren't really quick to transition to flat offense.
So far, that Moshi in the penalty box at the moment was the fifth penalty for Paris. Two have been jammers, of course. Only one penalty for Dock City, which I believe is also
a jammer, right? So we're going to have Fraulein F. Reckless, the powerful jammer for Dock City, gets out in front. Moshi now standing in that 888 penalty box, but Fraulein F. Reckless, Dock City pivot is going to have to sit down. That's Babs, Malice Babs.
Power jam comes to an end though. Moshi back to track. So Moshi, we can pick them out because they've got that gold helmet until they get the star back on.
Sure. And this is still the initial trip for Moshi. Of course, now with the blocker in that penalty box, Doc can't give any offensive assistance. Fraulein F. Reckless does it on her own, however, and picks up the 4 points.
Yes, Sally Broyo forced into that bridge position to try and hold it, but now we got the star pass, and that is gone to Bonnie Tagul, taking the star a couple of times, again being shut out here by Dock City, calling off the jam, maintaining that lead now, 29 plays 26.
Boy, that's it's another lead change. It's quite an impressive back and forth in the early going. Very stingy defense for Paris on that power jam. 4-3 pack advantage for Paris on this next jam.
Yeah, coffee and glasses. I think that's going to be.
And we're going to go with Prince Sophia, who we've seen a few times, January Dock City, and another lead for Prince Sophia.
Beating the odds is Dock City. Boy, Dock City playing inspired roller derby at 9 o'clock in the morning here.
Star Focus with that star straightway finally gets out of initial.
Whatever Dock City wants to do, they want to do it quickly here, and that will prompt the call as Starfocus approaching the pack. Oh, 0.
Another lead change.
Stingy jam refs on that one, Sven.
Already we've seen Fraulein F. Reckless for Dock City. He's picked up 19 of their 29 points. So
29 with Dock City in
MVP
the
jammer
lead.
so far for Dock City.
Very.
Sophia, 100% lead as well. So again, we're already seeing that the jammer dynamics of Dock City
Except for
was
like
keeping them with that lead.
exciting.
You know,
Yeah,
getting leads,
definitely.
getting the high-scoring passes.
First,
Here we've got legs. Yeah, that's what's allowed them to stay in this game, basically, is because as we've seen, how about it? Another lead for Dock City. That's how you neutralize a jammer like Legs and the other powerhouse jammers of Paris. Just get a lead on them. You have to get out there quickly. That's what Doc's been able to do.
Gordon using those fast feet, and we get another Paris blocker penalty. That is Kiki Frenetti.
Boy, that's an unfortunate just wrinkle of play there for Doc, because Kiki was rolling back the Dock City jammer as a penalty was being issued. And you know, the Dock City jammer was really the loser in that situation. But I'm not, not ascribing blame to anybody. That's how gameplay works. But too bad an advantage couldn't have been played as the penalty was given. But that's not really provided for in the rules of roller derby.
And we're going to have Moran, and it is Lamoche. Moran, again, already shown to be one of these powerful Dock City jammers, and as we say, that breaks with the lead. Lamoche just being swallowed by Navy Shades. Finally avoids the hip check and gets out on initial. Moran just being hounded and forced to the outside, makes the call off.
Rather emphatically, and that's really a testament to the strength of this Paris pack, is that despite the vast lead disparity, it's less than a 10-point game. A lot of teams with a lesser team, if they'd only achieved the lead once or twice in 15, 16 minutes of gameplay, would be down by 30 points, but that's not the case.
Should we maybe go through our beautiful
So we got a
visuals
team
this
timeout
weekend?
called by
Let's
Paris.
really
Now we've currently got Berlin for Dock City sitting in the penalty box as the pivot, so we're going to have a quick timeout.
Proud, yeah.
Kiki Frenetic in that 888 penalty box for Paris as it stands. The Gear 40 duffel pack from 888 was designed by Derby skaters for Derby skaters. It's the last gear bag you'll ever need.
So this first team timeout coming about 16 minutes into the first period. All by Paris, so let's see if this is what they need to shift some momentum.
Yeah, that's a necessary thing. Unfortunately, it's not as easy as just simply, come on, skate harder, because Doc has a very coordinated offensive strategy right from that start whistle, and they are springing the jammers. I don't know that the Paris coach has been able to identify a pattern right now. I don't know that I've seen a necessary pattern, but they are just getting out.
So we've got Fraulein F. Reckless and Moshi. So we already said earlier, Fraulein F. Reckless, the top scorer for Dock City in the game so far.
Yeah, 3-on-3 in the pack. Now it's a one-player pack advantage for Paris. But that, look at, finally bounced out. That was amazing body control by Moshi on the outside of turn one. But it is turned into a grind right now. No clear advantage. Both skaters the same kind of profile as well. Very wiry, but very low center of gravity. And that makes it very hard to get around players.
So whatever was said on the Paris bench in that timeout has clearly worked, because what we haven't seen is Doc getting a lead within 10-15 seconds of the jam start.
Yes, the coaching staff's far more intelligent than I was, because I just said, well, this is what you need to do, but evidently the Paris coaching staff figured out how to do it, not just what to do. But in the meantime, we're over a minute gone by in this jam, just getting into turn number 2, and we have another Doc lead. It just took a minute and 28 seconds, Sven.
We have the lead of the 1.5 minute.
Another
We got a star pass for Paris.
stopless now sent to that AAA penalty box for Doc, and Fraulein F. Reckless going to call the jam. 2, 3 on the jam, and Doc will take 3 at a time right now. They're certainly not going to argue with that. That was a testament to some hard work by both teams. Getting ready to start again. We've got Prince Sophia for Dock City, and we've got Star Focus for Paris. It's a 4-3 pack advantage for Paris. There goes Star Focus out and in control. Lead jammer for the Paris Allstars. Currently down by 12 points, but one big jam, and that difference will be erased. But a very organized 3-wall in the back for Dock City.
Stop is coming off in the box, about to make that a 4-wall now, holding up.
And immediately cutting off the inside. Star's going to call it off wisely, and 3 points awarded. So Paris, they're going to be okay with that with 11 minutes to go in this first period. They'll take 3 at a time if they can keep building on that. They're going to send legs to the jam line now. 888 penalty box completely empty, Sven.
For now. And legs is going to be jamming against Bowden for Dock City. We are 4-on-4, as you say, and they're all huddled around that sucker punch jam line. But Bowden takes the outside express lane, picks up the lead for Dock, and we're back to how Dock are picking up leads earlier in this game.
Paris forgot the 4-hole there, and Bowden made them pay. Legs passes the star now. That's another wrinkle that Bowden has to consider. Looks, turns, calls.
The star pass there went to Rose Hien for those keeping track at home.
Well, Bowden calling just in time, getting the 1 point to 0 for Paris. Still an empty penalty box. Both teams, has to be said, skating cleanly in this early going. We're getting ready to go into the 16th jam right now. And it's a defensive battle. Paris with using one timeout already. 13-point game. Ooh.
And we got Moran for Dock City against Lamoche for Paris. Moran tries that outside line but gets denied. Lamoche slides through. Doesn't pick up lead, no lead. There was a no pass, no penalty in that.
Improper pass gone by, so, but boy, there's no clear way through for the Dock City jammer right now either. That was an untouched scoring trip. Lamoche looking for more.
Star pass to Malice Babs for Dock City. Malice Babs out of play, releases Malice onto the scoring pass, but Lamoche is in amongst that pack already.
Ooh,
rolls around on the inside.
The jam timer taking some, or jam referee taking some time. Babs getting a round of applause from the bench. We've got 55 seconds to go with no lead, Sven, so this is a open-ended jam right now.
This is probably the only the second jam so far in the game that will go the full distance.
Exactly. And that's a daunting proposition for some of these defensive formations. They've been up to the challenge so far.
Stopless there with a great hit out on Lamoche, rolling all the way back to halfway on the crowd straight. Star pass now, Bonnie to Girl, who's taken the star a few times for Paris.
That was, just because lead's not available doesn't mean you can't pass the star, and that was well done for Paris. Of course, Babs right now for Doc, really just kind of waiting for a hole to awaken and now going to play defense herself. That was a grueling jam, no doubt about it, but Paris gets into the lead again on the vitality, on the brilliance of one jam, a 16-8 jam, and, well, excuse me, I spoke before the Dock City points were awarded on that last pass. So, 2-point game. Another empty 888 penalty box as we get underway. Who's jamming, Sven?
So we got Prince Sophia for Dock City against Moshe Moshi. Now Prince Sophia, I believe, is still on a 100% lead until Moshe Moshi breaks with lead for Paris. Paris now going to try and take the momentum from that last jam, that big 16-point jam. See if they can build on that.
Well, violent contact. Oh, everybody's all right. Mosh is... Boy, I'm just so impressed by Mosh's ability to just wiry wheel around the inside and outside lines.
Dock City momentarily only 2 blockers on track, but Beline is back now as we've got Beline sitting for the forearms.
A one-legged masterclass around the outside, and all of a sudden Mosh is looking like the skater to beat out there, Sven. Finally, a defensive stop there by Pelvis Wrestley, but that's a 10-point outburst. Paris finally stepping into the lead. Time out, Dock City.
And we'll give a shout out to Crash Course. Crash Course helps busy roller derby athletes increase strength, conquer self-doubt, and create the habits of high performers to become all-stars and MVPs on the track and in life. Want to make 2-minute jams feel easy? Visit Chrissy Crash, that's Chrissy Crash, both Ks.com to learn more. Life is a contact sport. Win.
Well, we've seen plenty of grueling jams in this early going, and lots of. I mean, I think defensive struggle is an accurate assessment so far. You know, we're on a pace right now to get into the maybe 120, 130 point range for the game. Not to say that one of the teams couldn't break out, but yeah, so far points are at a premium.
Well, we're getting in this first period here where both teams are kind of changing tactics, feeling each other out, and we're seeing how now Paris are obviously working out how to stop those quick lead pickups from Doc, which is what pushed Doc in the early part of this first period. And now it seems like Paris have got the handle on that, and they're putting the points up in those last few jams, caught and past Doc City. And we're getting ready now to go back in with Jam 17, Fraulein F. Reckless against Star Focus.
And Star is called off on a cut track, so now it's a full pack for both teams and power jam. Fraulein F. Reckless, but Fraulein is going it alone. Was Star able to pass the jam to Bonnie, or pass the start? No, that was some high-level trickery on the part of Bonnie Tagoy there. Bonnie was acting as though she had received the star, and as a result, the Dock City pack was looking to hold a defensive line instead of working on offense for the Dock City Jammer.
Power jam comes to an end. Star is back to track now, but immediately into the grips of Kafka and Bielen.
4 points picked up immediately, though, by Fraulein F. Reckless. Fraulein turns, looks, already knocked out of bounds.
And we have
chooses to run the jam, Sven.
We have seen the star pass to Bonnie, but Bonnie again trapped now behind Bielen as Fraulein trying to make another move on the pack and put more points in the pocket. I think Doc want to come out of this with the lead.
Yes, I think that's... And they very well may do it. Fraulein with 4 more now, and that'll take them to 55. That was an interesting, unorthodox play by Fraulein F. Reckless, but looking might just be crazy like a fox to run this jam. Bonnie not really making a lot of progress for Paris right now, so we'll see. 5 seconds to go in the jam, and Fraulein Reckless does make it out for points. 4-4.
Doesn't quite get the lead for Dock City, but it's a 1-point game. 60 plays 59, 3 minutes and 44 remaining in this first period. And we've leg Legcité, and it is, it looks like it's Bowden on our Sucker Punch Skate Shop jam line, ready for this next one.
AAA penalty box, empty again. Here we go. And this is just an intrigue and great action from a 5-seed playing a 12 to start off these European Championships. Here's Legs now approaching, and the Doc showing Legs the respect, putting all their defensive players on one task, knocking out Legs and rolling back to that start line.
Dock City seem to favour this back four, just holding the jammer and leaving their jammer to do what they do at the front. However, I think they might need to send some offense.
Trying to do a little bit of that right now, but there's Legs. Legs is the unstoppable force right now. That'll be 4.
We did miss, I think, the star pass to Marlis Babs, but Marlis Babs has got the star for Dock City and is now out and running on this first scoring pass. Legs being told to call it by the bench, I believe.
Yeah, and Kiki Fanatique sent to that AAA penalty box, just sat down as the jam ended. So that's going to be essentially a full 30-second sit for the Paris blocker. 2:04 left to go as the period clock continues to wind down.
So our AAA penalty box so far, I think, is 9 penalties for Paris, 7 for Dock City. It's another high penalty game as it goes on, and we've got Moran is through to pick up lead for Dock. So this jam's going to be important for Dock, because I think they're going to want to get the points and come out, go into the half leading. But Lamoche is already out and chasing down Moran.
Yeah, and Paris speeding up the pack right now. First time we've seen it. Kiki still in the penalty box.
3-point pickup going to put Dock just trailing by 3.
And Kiki is still standing in that AAA penalty box. That just gives you an idea of the quick-hitting nature of the Dock City offense.
So obviously that was about a 20-second jam that we had. Kiki just standing now. 1 minute left in the period.
So it'll still be a 4-3 pack advantage for Dock City. This is Cass jamming, first time I believe for Paris in this game. Cass is out and Cass is lead.
Prince Sophia, who dominated lead early in the game, now playing catch up, but both jammers out about 50 feet apart. Cass though hits the pack first. Pack speeds up around the back straight and Cass gets a couple, calls it off. Let's see how many goes. 2 points for Paris, 30 seconds left, so there's probably going to be one more jam.
We ought to be able to get one more in. Cass just showing a secret weapon quality almost, Sven.
So all the pack on our Sucker Punch jam line. Sucker Punch Skate Shop, the biggest roller derby shop in Europe. Fast shipping, largest stock, expert advice at the best price. That's Sucker Punch Skate Shop.
Fraulein F. Reckless, once again, Star focus, and Star sees daylight out and through. Lead jammer Paris. This is exactly what Paris would want going into the first period stoppage. Oh, Star forced to call it off, though. Balin, along with the rest of the Dock City pack, holding off pretty successfully. So, at intermission, it's a 6-point game, Sven. Nothing really decided except both of these teams know each other's style, and they love to play hard-hitting roller derby. 68-62. Anything to mention?
No, but what we'll do is we'll give you 40.5 minutes to catch your breath. We will catch ours, and we'll see you back here for the second period very soon.
This is the totally redesigned Lifer visor helmet from S1. Featuring our patented Fusion foam, this helmet has the impact protection you've come to expect from an S1 helmet and is both multiple impact and high impact certified. Our new custom visor is made with a high impact polycarbonate lens, which is optically correct and features our patented cover catcher, which allows for multiple covers to be worn with easy on-off. The outside lens has an anti-scratch coating, while the inside has an anti-fog coating. The outer shell is equipped with in-mold mounting hardware, so that the visor can be removed and replaced if needed. The S1 Lifer visor helmet, where innovation and function are actualized.
Ready to make 2-minute jams feel easy? Tired of second-guessing your training routine? Want to feel more confident when you step on the track? Then Crash Course is for you. We turn skaters into MVPs. If you started Crash Course today, in 4 weeks, you'll be less tired at the end of a 2-minute jam. In 8 weeks, your footwork will get you to the line faster. And in 12 weeks, you'll be the skater that everyone wants in their pack. Scan this QR code to learn more. Life is a contact sport. Win.
Hey folks, did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. If your helmet size is a small, but your teammate's size is an extra large, wearing the same helmet shell doesn't just look kind of funny. The functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised.
The 888 certified sweat saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor,
giving you the highest level of protection upon impact. Try for yourself. We've got you.
This is the totally redesigned Lifer Visor helmet from S1. Featuring our patented Fusion foam, this helmet has the impact protection you've come to expect from an S1 helmet and is both multiple impact and high impact certified. Our new custom visor is made with a high impact polycarbonate lens, which is optically correct and features our patented cover catcher, which allows for multiple covers to be worn with easy on-off. The outside lens has an anti-scratch coating, while the inside has an anti-fog coating. The outer shell is equipped with in-mold mounting hardware, so that the visor can be removed and replaced if needed. The S1 Lifer Visor helmet, where innovation and function are actualized.
Ready to make 2-minute jams feel easy? Tired of second-guessing your training routine? Want to feel more confident when you step on the track? Then Crash Course is for you. We turn skaters into MVPs. If you started Crash Course today, in 4 weeks, you'll be less tired at the end of a 2-minute jam. In 8 weeks, your footwork will get you to the line faster. And in 12 weeks, you'll be the skater that everyone wants in their pack. Scan this QR code to learn more. Life is a contact sport. Win.
Hey folks, did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. If your helmet size is a small, but your teammate's size is an extra large, wearing the same helmet shell doesn't just look kind of funny. The functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised.
The 888 certified sweat saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor,
giving you the highest level of protection upon impact. Try for yourself. We've got you.
This is the totally redesigned Lifer Visor helmet from S1. Featuring our patented Fusion foam, this helmet has the impact protection you've come to expect from an S1 helmet and is both multiple impact and high impact certified. Our new custom visor is made with a high impact polycarbonate lens, which is optically correct and features our patented cover catcher, which allows for multiple covers to be worn with easy on-off. The outside lens has an anti-scratch coating, while the inside has an anti-fog coating. The outer shell is equipped with in-mold mounting hardware, so that the visor can be removed and replaced if needed. The S1 Lifer Visor Helmet, where innovation and function are actualized.
Ready to make 2-minute jams feel easy? Tired of second-guessing your training routine? Want to feel more confident when you step on the track? Then Crash Course is for you. We turn skaters into MVPs. If you started Crash Course today, in 4 weeks, you'll be less tired at the end of a 2-minute jam. In 8 weeks, your footwork will get you to the line faster. And in 12 weeks, you'll be the skater that everyone wants in their pack. Scan this QR code to learn more. Life is a contact sport. Win.
Whoop.
Hey folks, did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. If your helmet size is a small, but your teammate's size is an extra large, wearing the same helmet shell doesn't just look kind of funny. The functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised.
The 888 certified sweat saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor,
giving you the highest level of protection upon impact. Try for yourself. We've got you.
This is the totally redesigned Lifer Visor Helmet from S1. Featuring our patented Fusion foam, this helmet has the impact protection you've come to expect from an S1 helmet, and is both multiple impact and high impact certified. Our new custom visor is made with a high impact polycarbonate lens, which is optically correct and features our patented cover catcher, which allows for multiple covers to be worn with easy on-off. The outside lens has an anti-scratch coating, while the inside has an anti-fog coating. The outer shell is equipped with in-mold mounting hardware, so that the visor can be removed and replaced if needed. The S1 Lifer Visor Helmet, where innovation and function are actualized.
Ready to make 2-minute jams feel easy? Tired of second-guessing your training routine? Want to feel more confident when you step on the track? Then Crash Course is for you. We turn skaters into MVPs. If you started Crash Course today, in 4 weeks, you'll be less tired at the end of a 2-minute jam. In 8 weeks, your footwork will get you to the line faster. And in 12 weeks, you'll be the skater that everyone wants in their pack. Scan this QR code to learn more. Life is a contact sport. Win.
Whoop. Derby fans, we are back in Malmo. What a first period of play between Paris and Dock City. Sven, Paris with the 6-point lead, but we had a lot of twists and turns to get there.
Yeah, so obviously, as much as it's a 6-point game, 68 plays 62 to Paris, Dock City dominated leads in that one, 14 leads to 7, and actually out of that, Fraulein F. Reckless, one of the key jammers for Doc, 34 points in total, 83% lead. Paris actually ran 7 jammers in that. Obviously 2 were through star passes. But the story of that, there was as much as Doc were dominating lead, they were only picking up like 4 or 5 points. You know, in those early jams where when Paris have got lead, they've either stretched it out or they've taken advantage of those full 2-minute jams. We saw that 16 to 8 point jam in the middle that swung the tide for Paris. And that's been the big one. I mean, otherwise, on the jammer side, from Paris, Lamoche and Legcité have both been on... Oh, hold on, I'm getting some technical mic stuff going on here. That's better. For Paris, Lamoche, 19 points. Legcité, the biggest jammer for Paris, on 20. Morin has 11, but I think after this half-time, we're going to see if Paris are going to try and shift to that longer game, or if they're going to, or as they did, try and hold the Dock City.
It's an interesting point, Sven, because, yeah, it seems as though Paris has almost elected to play the counter-puncher in this game. So it's an interesting... I mean, you could look at it a lot of different ways. Paris with the number 5 seed coming into the tournament, and Dock City with the number 12. You would think it might be the other way around, but Paris may be keeping in mind that if they win this game, they're going to have to play later on today against the number 4 seed Toulouse, which is, you know, a bitter rival of theirs. So they may want to, you know, kind of try to save some energy in this one and just come away with the win. Kind of looks like that's what they've been trying to do. But Dock City has been very determined in not wanting that to happen.
And we're getting set up for our first jam of the second period of Game 1 here in Malmö, Sweden. And we've got Fraulein F. Reckless, as we mentioned, top jammer of the game so far against Lamoche. One of Paris's top jammers so far in the game. Neither jammer making much headway so far, but Fraulein F. Reckless is at the front, and Lamoche slides up the inside to pick up lead for Paris.
You know, Sven, I was just going to say that the Paris jammers haven't had a lot of success on the inside line coming off the start line, but Lamoche got bumped out on the first try. Second try made it quickly through. Caught Dock City a little unawares there, but that is a 3 points going up for Paris.
A little bit of confusion there as to which score that was going on, but it was definitely Paris that scored those points.
Yes, we don't want to have an official review over something like that. Still, that AAA penalty box empty.
And we got Starfacuse against Prince Sophia. Prince Sophia makes the early moves. Starfacuse being held at the back, out of play, called on that 3 wall, and we're going to get a failure to reform. Oh, sorry, an out of play contact, I should say.
Yeah, that's going to go against Kafka for Dock City. Both jammers are out. Starfacuse with about half a track to make up now. Paris certainly speeding up. But there's another example of what you were talking about, Sven, is Dock City choosing to play the long game and only take 3-4 points at a time. Does get all 4 on that trip, so again, 5-point game.
Yeah, notice how though Paris, the moment they realized they needed to speed up and try and deny those points, they did that and made, like, the forced that call off, only resulting in the 4-point loss. Legcité on the sucker punch jam line against Moran for Dock City.
Is it Moran? Sorry, you are correct. I thought I saw an 18. Nice roll back there. That was Bilan rolling back legs, but now we have Sally Bourure going to the AAA penalty box, legs extending the front of the pack. Lead jammer Paris. Legs now directing the offense, but alertly knocked out.
3-on-3 on the pack at the moment as Bilen sits for direction. Sally Broyeux is waiting to be released to give Paris the advantage, and Sally Broyeux comes on now.
Okay, that's the first four legs. The initial. Both jammers with 4 points on that. Dock City, kind of lucky to escape that jam with a 4-4 result as we're sitting. Let's wait and see for a clarification.
So it's going to be 4-on-3 in the advantage for Paris, and Paris are opting to stretch us out more towards the pivot line. Lamoche jamming for Paris against Fraulein F. Reckless for Dock City. Fraulein F. Reckless out up the outside, picks up lead. Lamoche though, half a track behind.
Almost as quick. Balin finally set free from that 888 penalty box. And there we're going to see it again. Doc electing to call the jam quickly. 2 points. 2-0 on the jam to within 4 points. If Doc are going to do this, it will not be a large margin, I predict.
Yeah, this is exactly what we saw in the first period. Doc getting lead, getting a couple of points, calling off, and all it took was a couple of big jams from Paris, and it basically put the pressure on Doc to catch up. But now we're going to see Star for Cuse for Paris jamming against Bowden for Dock City. Both jammers stuck in the pack right now. Bowden trying to move up the inside, darts to the outside. Star just being held by, I think it's Snag and Kafka.
Kafka doing a wonderful job recycling to the outside. Yeah, Doc have worked on these 3 formations very well. They've contained the Paris jammers so far effectively, but now Paris equal to the challenge defensively. They're just continuing to make life difficult for Bowden. Yeah, we're almost to the 1 minute mark in the jam. Bowden goes down. Star is going to go out, and no clear advantage either way, Sven. Oh, lead established to Bowden. If Bowden can make it out. Whew.
So this is Bowden's 4th lead so far. Only picked up 7 points though, but has had probably more than 60% now. I can't do the maths on that quickly.
Star stashes the Star. Now Bowden with Bowden's going to be called for cutting the track. Stepped on the inside. Terrible little bit of piece of luck for Dock City right there. Bowden's going to take a couple of points and join Kafka in that 888 penalty box.
So Dock City 4-on-3 in the pack with the penalty kill. In fact, 3-on-3 now as we get a forearm picked up by Lux.
Gypsy Queen now with the Star, the jammer of record for Paris, and knows what to do until gravity takes the Gypsy Queen out right by that start line. Bowden standing now. That'll be 4 points for Paris, and that's going to do it.
And another penalty for Dock City as Stopless picks up the pack destruction penalty. So it's going to be 3-on-3, but Lux is standing in the penalty box for Paris going into this next jam.
Paris with a win on that last jam, 4-2. Unlikely win at that, but every point piling up in Paris's favor right now.
We got Prince, Sophia, and Lamoche on our Sucker Punch jam line. The 3-on-3 pack has come back to meet them.
Beautiful work by Lamoche. Just almost holding back until waiting for that hole to open. The hole opened, and here comes Lamoche on a scoring trip.
Prince Sophia with the Star Stash, but now out, coming in as the jam is shut down. And I just want to give a shout out to Skate and Create Factory. Need a gift for the skate in your life? Get skate themed art stickers and gifts from Create and Skate Factory, a passion project by Jukebox. Duke is a fellow derby skater playing in Barcelona, but you may remember her from a time skating with London Roller Derby, USA Roller Derby, Minnesota, and Madison. You can find out more on www.createandskatefactory.com or on Instagram and Facebook at Create and Skate Factory. Every sale supports a fellow skater.
Here we go. Jam 7 right now. Fraulein F. Reckless again. with the star for Dock City, taking on Cass.
Fraulein F. Reckless responsible for 36 of the 73 points currently for Dock City.
Cass, just the second jam of the game. 3-on-3 in the pack right now, but Fraulein is lead jammer. Took over 30 seconds, but that'll work. Cass trying to leverage the outside. Can't quite do it right now.
Paris only have 3 on track at the moment to try and stop Fraulein F. Reckless. Bonnie now getting released from the penalty box to hopefully come and give some offense to Cass.
Yeah, well, Bonnie does take the star immediately out of the penalty box, and that you could almost write the script for that one. Bonnie is the jammer of record right now, and Fraulein F. Reckless will call. So I'm assuming all 4, presuming I shouldn't say, I'm not assuming anything. Yes, all 4 go up for Dock City. That makes it a 4-point game again. Oh my. All of a sudden, all that clean skating is catching up with both teams as the AAA penalty box has 2 Dock City blockers and 1 Paris blocker sitting down as we're getting ready to start jam number 8.
And talking of 888, the Gear 40 duffel pack from 888 was designed by Derby skaters for Derby skaters. It's the last gear bag you'll ever need. And what you can put in that is your 187 killer pads. Often imitated, never duplicated. Stick with the best.
Couldn't agree more. Dock City calling for a timeout right now. This will be their second. And the timeouts, you know, could geez, with a score differential like this, holding on to the timeouts might be a very important part of game management as we tick down.
Such a close game all the way through, though. To open up this tournament, having a game like this is amazing to watch.
Isn't it, Sven? And especially considering this is a 5 and a 12 seed right now. Dock City punching above their weight right now as the 12 seed. Don't forget, our next game coming up will be a 9 and an 8 seed. The 9 seed is Tiger Bay. The 8 seed is Antwerp, so you don't want to miss that coming up after this one. But boy, I'm just thrilled about this one. It's Legs going up against Fraulein F. Reckless right now, and I don't know that Doc can hold off Legs. They don't. Out and lead.
Yeah, 3-on-2 in the pack. Smallest pack we've seen so far because that penalty box has been so empty for most of this game. Seeing 2 in 1 sitting is a bit of a difference in this game. Legs though knocked to the inside, forced to call off as Fraulein F. Reckless runs up on the pack.
3 points awarded to Legs, which is the beneficiary of a geometric advantage there. Kafka did a beautiful job bumping Legs off of the attempted apex jump there. But the points were awarded nonetheless. No change in the pack makeup right now, as that was such a quick jam. Lamoche now for Paris. And this is Moran for Dock City.
And we get Beline for Dock and Lou for Paris coming back to the penalty box in quick succession. But we get a cut. Power jam for Paris as Moran picks up the cut track. So let's see what Lamoche can do with this power jam.
This is it's dueling power jams. Both jammers cut. So now we've from the ridiculous to the sublime. Moran will be released. Lamoche will sit for however long Moran did, and it's anybody's contest. 1:15 to go. Who's got the better cardio, Sven?
Well, it's also going to come down to the penalties now. So Dock City have now more than doubled the penalties. They had more penalties in this first 10 minutes than they had in the whole first period. So they were on 7 penalties in total, including 2 jammers going into the end of the first period. Now they've already racked up 8 in this second period.
Isn't that interesting? It makes you wonder whether, just a little bit of fatigue or whether it's just trying to get that extra advantage.
Yeah, sometimes the change up in tactics, the jammers try and use the outsides a bit more, There's just a little bit extra, like trying some different moves, and you get caught out.
Well, still 25 seconds to go in this jam. No points awarded as of yet, but Lamoche is through. That is 4 points. Moran is bumped out. Got to be careful. This could be a cut. No, Moran wisely recycling after that hit from Sally Breuer.
But Lamoche is in on a second scoring pass. Moran still on that initial scoring pass. Well, that's first scoring pass, I should say, to avoid confusion.
Sure, yeah.
But another 2 picked up for Paris, 4 for Moran. So again, we're seeing where in these longer jams, Paris is outscoring, and that's what we said in the first period. If Doc continue to do small pickups, they're going to get outscored in the long jams.
Yes, that's really been the pattern of the game, Sven. The 888 penalty box currently empty. We'll see for how long. This is Bowden to the jam line for Dock City, and Moshe Moshi for Paris.
Moshi trying all sorts of directions with Bowden, sticking to that inside line.
Bowden getting in on the defense a little bit. I've noticed a lot of times, there goes Mosh, waiting out the defense, doing a really good job of finding that outside gap. 4-hole open, and how about that for Bowden? Bowden says, well, yeah, offense is all well and good, but defense wins games.
But Bowden got to be careful, though, because there's a Paris 4-ball hunting at the front of that pack. Can't run it back too far.
True.
And this is Moshi's second lead out of 5 jams.
Well, we're at the 1 minute mark, and well, Bowden electing not to play offense right now. Now finally, big bump out by the Dock pivot. That's high five. They're getting a big round of applause from the assembled fans.
Bowden has only just managed to complete the initial pass for this jam after 1.5 minutes of play.
Yeah. Well, and that's all 4 points for Paris. And the funny thing is, that's just how roller derby works. Mosh probably passed all of those blockers at least 3 or 4 times a piece, but wasn't able to get released out for to collect the points. Had to repass all of those blockers another 3 or 4 times. Still, it seems almost inexorable at this point. Paris do build their lead a little bit.
Star for Paris going against Prince Sophia for Dock City. And there's a tight pack.
Very tight now. Prince Sophia making the first move. Star, however, is now overtaking. Oh, this is a dynamic pack if I have ever seen one, Sven. Star makes it out, though. Lead jammer.
So Prince Sophia with the Star stash, but has 3 white shirts swarming at the front there, just going to push that out as far as they can in that engagement. Out of play called, and Prince Sophia is allowed to go, but is going to take the safety option and go all the way back.
Yeah,
to
well,
turn 2.
And you can't blame Prince Sophia in that situation, because it would be just a disaster to give up a power jam right now. With what we've been talking about as far as the difference between these teams, either the big jam or the chip away philosophy of Doc, if they were to give up a big jam right now, that could be just disastrous. However, it is now a 17-point game. Paris taking a timeout with 13:54 to go. Paris opening up this game slowly but surely, Sven.
Yeah, and it's all about the stamina now going at this last 15 minutes of the second half. But if you're ready to make 2-minute jams feel easy, tired of second guessing your training routine, want to feel more confident when you step on the track, then crash courses for you. We turn skaters into MVPs. If you start a crash course today in 4 weeks, you'll be less tired at the end of a 2-minute jam. In 8 weeks, your footwork will get you to the line faster. And in 12 weeks, you'll be the skater that everyone's in the pack. Life is a contact sport, Wayne. I tell you what, I need some stamina for these 2-minute jams.
You and me both. And the thing that we're seeing is it is maximum effort right up until the final whistle. That's what it takes. Now, again, Paris regrouping, taking their second team timeout. That leaves both teams going into the final 13:54 with one team timeout and one official review per unit, if you will. Legs and Fraulein F. Reckless are going to be our jammers as we rejoin the action. It's a 4-3 pack in favor of Dock City. Here we go.
Legs and Fraulein F. Reckless, two of the highest scoring jammers of the game. Fraulein's got an impressive 40 points so far. Legs, 27 in the game. We'll see which of them comes out with a pocket full of points after this one, as both jammers are stuck between the jam and pivot line right now in the respective blocking walls.
Yeah, both teams just simply playing defense right now. Oh, Fraulein Reckless hopping, gonna be called for the cut. Sad but true.
And we got a double power jammers, both jammers. Legs also picks up the cut.
This is the plot from the last jam as well, Sven. It's almost like they planned it. Now Fraulein Reckless, they're not. Neither jammer's going to spend a lot of time in the box. Legs already released.
And now to see if that crash course 2-minute jam stamina training is going to come into play here.
It most undoubtedly will. Legs gets out first. That's just an initial trip, though. Fraulein F. Reckless got to watch another trip to that penalty box. Legs for points now.
Gwyneth Paltrow came back on the offense, but then went up to bolster Fraulein, doing a great job of bouncing between offense and defense from Gwyneth Paltrow. Legs bounce the inside, has to restart that attack on turn 1 as Malice Babs re-enters the track back to 4-on-4 in the pack, Gretchen.
Oh, and already we have another dock. That's Kafka. In a Kafkaesque turn of events, has to sit down in that AAA penalty box. Legs puts up the first points of a 2-minute power jam with just 13 seconds to go. That's going to give you some indication of the level of defensive effort that's taking place here. And unfortunately, the star pass for Dock City yields no points. That's going to do it. So a 8-0, 2-minute jam for Paris. And boy, coming out of that team timeout, they couldn't have asked for a better result, Sven.
Yeah, and it's what we've seen again. We saw Paris do that in the first period where they had the timeout, they swung the momentum, but took some, like when they saw Dock City getting that momentum shift and getting those leads, Paris took the timeout, slowed the game down, got it back to their pace. And as we said again, those 2-minute jams have been vital for Paris here with the big scores.
It's Lamoche now versus Moran, and another Paris lead. Moran is out. So expect Paris to hit and quit right now. Maybe not.
Score for Paris.
Oh, how about that? A little wrinkle. Lamoche looked to the bench. Now we'll call. It'll be a 4-4. And no harm, no foul for Paris. They'll take 4-4 jams from here on out, sitting on a 25-point lead.
So this is the biggest lead in the game so far. 31 points the difference. Sorry, not 31. It's now more than that. Is that 35? Someone do maths on me, please.
It's 25, Sven.
25 points. There we go.
Take me back to the first grade. Here we are. Paris with another quick lead. However, Prince Sophia in pursuit. This is Moshe Moshi. Dock City speeding it up. Moshe Moshi with one. Bumped out by Kafka, calls the jam.
As you say, as long as Paris are either equaling or bettering Dock City in every jam is going. They're going to take that.
Oh, exactly. And honestly, all the Doc can hope for right now is a quick power jam. Everybody on either bench is well aware of that, and I'm sure these jammers have been instructed, whatever you do, don't go to that 888 penalty box. We got Star Focus now for Paris taking on Fraulein F. Reckless. It's okay not to get lead if you're the Paris jammer, but it's not okay to commit a penalty. Here we go. Fraulein F. Reckless to the penalty box. Ertan to the 888, Fraulein F. Reckless in lead. Ertan to that 888 penalty box.
Yeah, multiplayer block picked up by Ertan. And now we've got Fraulein F. Reckless picking the points. We get a star pass to the common star pass recipient here for Paris, Bonnie Tagul.
Bonnie looking for points now. And you see, now that's just a veteran move for Bonnie. Getting bumped to the infield, but trying to make that one extra little turn with the hips to see if a point can't be picked up before having to reverse direction. Bonnie just waiting in the background right now. Fraulein F. Reckless with 8, trying to get a little more, getting some offensive assistance right now.
So I think Bonnie has picked up the star about 6 times so far in the jam, has about 12 points. Third highest score for Paris so far in the game. All from star passes as we get another penalty from Ertan. But Fraulein F. Reckless through for another pickup.
That's another 12, and that'll take them dangerously close to 100.
So this is actually the most points Doc have scored in a jam so far in the game.
Oh, Dock City hemorrhaging blockers right now, unfortunately. This is not a good time for this to happen. And again, Bonnie, to go for Paris, you've got to appreciate the gameplay on this, just staying on the track, getting some points. It's a 16-point jam for Dock City, but 4 for Paris now, and it's a 14-point game. Wow.
And we've gone to an official review, I believe, called by Paris. Yes, called by Paris, so we're going to fill for time until we find out what this official review is about, because we're not going to speculate on these mics.
No, of course not. And we could guess, but why? It really, isn't going to do any good. Just about the time that I thought that Paris had locked this game up, however, Dock City coming back with exactly what they needed. A 16-point jam, highest point count jam of the game for Dock City.
And that takes Fraulein F. Reckless to 56 of those 101 points. While we're in this official review, let's actually run through who are skating officials after this game. So we've got a John Cord Grand Slam, Divide by Zero, Chuck Homo You Didn't, Lise, Kurt So Good, Lucas and Tara O. Very good officials, many of whom I have worked with. And we've got John Cord now. So it looks like Paris are going to look for a back block on Fraulein F. Reckless in the first scoring pass. So that's the important bit. It's the first scoring pass, and it's looking for a back block on Fraulein F. Reckless.
That is interesting. They obviously saw something to prompt that request. Of course, that would negate all of those 16 points if it were, would it not? I don't know, Sven. It's a dilemma for the officials, no doubt about it, and I'm glad I'm just up here watching and enjoying and talking about it. Almost asking to rewind the sands of time. It's kind of hard to put those sands back in the other side of the hourglass, but what do I know?
at least we know exactly when it happened in the jam. That's the one thing as an official you want to hear when someone comes to with an official review like that, where it happened, exactly where on track, when it happened. The more information you can get, the more specific you can be, the better it helps your chances of winning that official review.
Sure. Well, and if nothing else, they get a chance to regroup, reset themselves, because I don't think they were expecting a 16-4 jam in favor of Dock City after the roll they had been on. Okay, we're going to have the verdict. They've won the review, Sven. They retain a review, and Fraulein F. Reckless is going to the penalty box.
So Dock City, as we mentioned, the penalties, they're now on 23 penalties as a team. They only had 7 in that first whole period.
That is one of the all-time great official review requests I have ever seen, Sven.
And that was only Fraulein's first penalty. Now, of course, the score stays as it is because those points were awarded correctly. It's only incorrectly awarded points that can be removed.
And
but it does give them a power jam to start with legs.
With legs, and they can roll on this. Fraulein F. Reckless now standing up. What a disheartening end to an otherwise brilliant Dock City jam.
So keep eyes on Kafka as the pivot because Fraulein F. Reckless is coming back, star in hand.
Knocked to the inside by Bonnie. Bonnie's just played an all-around solid game for Paris, doing whatever's required in the game situation. And now legs will call as Fraulein F. Reckless does.
And we talked about Bonnie there, just picks up a direction of gameplay penalty in the dying seconds of that jam, so we'll go and sit in the box. But you're right, Bonnie has been phenomenal. Jammed on the star passes, been very successful, scored I think 3rd most points for Paris so far. As we get an official review now called by Dock City. But yeah, Bonnie, as you say, jam, block, in that pivot role, taking the star passes, scoring points, shutting down jammers on the defense. And I think fairly clean in terms of penalties, so being on track when they need to be.
Yeah. Just an all-around skater, very high IQ, positional blocker, and just whatever the situation demands. Okay. Dock City now employing the official review after an 11-0 jam in favor of Paris. That 25-point gap continues to stand. We'll have what the content of this official review in just a second. 6:10 to go in this one. Again, Tiger Bay, Antwerp next. And that'll be a 9 in Antwerp taking on Tiger Bay, the 8th seed in Antwerp taking on the 9th seed in Tiger Bay.
So we're going to get John Court Grand Slam with our official review reason. So Dock City are now looking for a back block on leg Cité from the previous jam. So we'll see if they can also convince our officials that they saw something that wasn't picked up on track, and if they can get the power jam advantage going into the next jam, just as Paris did in this one.
It'll be interesting to see because the back block on the jammer, a lot of times it really is a question of impact. On the game, it's game impact. It's not a question of whether the contact occurs. Normally, that's pretty obvious part of the equation, but that's not the full criteria for assessing a penalty. Okay, we have a verdict, it appears. Well, we couldn't understand all of the reason, at least I couldn't from here, but Paris do have a jammer on the start line, so pretty obviously the penalty will not be assessed and the review will not be retained by Dock City.
So 6 minutes and 10 left in the game. 25-point the difference in favour of Paris as we go Moran for Dock City against Lamoche. Two of the best jammers we've had on track. Not the top for the respective teams so far. I think maybe Lamoche is actually. No, Lamoche.
Oh, Lamoche called for a forearm though, and Moran takes advantage. We have a power jam Dock City 2-1 in the box. Paris with Bonnie now standing up. Lamoche sitting down. Bonnie Tagoy is restored to the track. Meanwhile, Moran at the front on a scoring trip. This is a defensive stand. That's Sally Breuer holding firm. Now called out of play.
Two Paris blockers called out of play just for staying in that engagement too long. The warnings were given though. We saw that clearly from the officials on the infield.
Lamoche is back in, but this is an initial trip completed. Moran will call. Do Moran get all? 7 points. Oh, Dock City are refusing to give up on this one, Sven.
But Dock City, though, going to go into this jam with a big advantage, only having two blockers on track to face for Paris in the form of Guinness Paltrow and Kiki Frenetique.
Moshe to the jam line for Paris. Fraulein F. Reckless. One of the premier jammers for Dock City. Dock giving some offense by Malice Babs, and it springs Fraulein F. Reckless. Hold on to your scoreboards, folks. This is 4 more.
Penalty box empties, though, so we're back to 4-on-4 for the moment.
Moshe is through for Paris. Fraulein F. Reckless. At some point, Doc might actually have to run one of these jams and just take what comes, but I don't know that now's the time. Fraulein F. Reckless will call, and this will whittle that lead down. Let's see, 7 more. It is now an 11-point lead for Paris.
But there's only 3 minutes and 30 left. You can't do quick jams now because every quick jam takes an extra 30 off the clock.
Sure. We've got next up Legs for Paris, taking on Moran for Dock City. Penalty box empty, 4-on-4 pack. Boy, Legs has to be careful. Called for a high block. Oh my, power jam for Dock City if they can spring their jammer.
But Dock City have just lost Patty from the block, so they're now 3 blockers against the Paris 4 on this power jam though.
All of a sudden, Moran finding the going difficult. Paris really stepping up when it matters. And look on the track, who's the pivot? Once again, it's Bonnie to Goose.
We've got Berlin and Ertan have just dropped back with Bielen to hold Legs when they come back from the penalty box.
Okay. We've gone 1 minute and 5. A back block called on Legs. You can hear, I'm sure, the fans assembled to love it. Moran is out. It took over 1 minute. Legs is in that 888 penalty box. He almost won a call. Yeah. Dock City will call. 2 points awarded. It's a 9-point game and 1:35 to go. Doc gets to start this in a power jam, Sven.
Yeah, freezing legs in the box. Put 2 penalties in the same jam, which is again going to get them. And they're putting Fraulein F. Reckless on, who we know is a powerhouse jammer, especially in this game.
That's right, and it's 4-on-4 in the pack. Can they get Fraulein out? They can! Very quickly, Fraulein lead jammer. Okay, Legs is standing up in that AAA penalty box. Doc have to hurry.
But Berlin picks up penalty number 6 for Dock City and goes to the box. Legs CT now released from the box straight into stopless and Patty from the block. Bolstered by Kafka. Louvre comes back on the offense and takes out Patty, but it's not enough to get Legs out.
We heard what sounded like a whistle. Oh, another blocker going. That's going to be Kafka, yeah. And Legs is out. Fraulein Reckless can't call this now because the period clock is under 30. Well, she will call, but unfortunately, we wait to see.
Doc are going to have to use the timeout.
Yeah.
There they go, there we go. There's the timeout.
Okay.
6-point game.
Timeout called. 13 seconds on the period clock.
Now, I just want to highlight here that our wonderful stats producer, Billy, has just been passing me the same note these last few jams. He just says squee and just keeps adding extra E's on, which I think is what we're trying to convey
I
here.
think that's what I've been saying. It's just a lot more succinct from Billy. If what I've been saying doesn't make any sense because I'm squeeing as well. Oh my gosh, Dock City, you know, they've given themselves a chance.
And as you said, this is 12 seed versus 5 seed. It shouldn't be this close, but it just shows what Dock City have come to do this weekend.
That's right. That's
and we're going to be lining up.
Completely true. Again, it bears repeating. The winner plays the number 4 seed Toulouse later on tonight. So.
And it's Fraulein F. Reckless back to the Sucker Punch jam line against Lamoche. Paris with a slight advantage of the extra blocker here. Kafka still serving from the head block in the previous jam.
Yep. So a lead for Paris will effectively end this contest, and that's what Lamoche came to do.
Lamoche is just looking at that score clock.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Paris speeding up the pack as they should. Now Lamoche calls, and that's going to do it. What a game. Dock City, to their credit, have smiles on their faces because they know they played a really, really good contest as the 12 seed taking on the 5 seed. They almost pulled it off. That would have been a monumental upset, Sven.
Yeah, I mean, 6 points in it. There's no way you can describe Dock City as the losers of this game. You can say they were the second winners, really.
Yeah, they ran out of time. It kind of appeared as though they were on the crest of another lead change, but just ran out of time.
Yeah, one more jam, and I think Dock City could have pulled it back, but actually, that scoreline does... It does so much justice to how much these teams have been fighting for it. We saw in the first period, Dock City dominated that lead. But in the second period, Paris brought that back. Paris figured out, how do we crack that particular nut of Dock City getting lead? How do we get lead? And how do we put the pressure on Dock so they can't just score 4 points? And even when we saw that big jam from Dock, it wasn't enough to quite put them over the top of Paris.
Well, and you really have to give credit for the Paris coaching staff for coming up with that official review and earning the Power Jam start on the next jam, because that really blunted the momentum. Whatever momentum Dock City picked up from that 16-point jam, and it was some momentum, but it really pulled the plug on it right there, and Paris were back in control.
Yeah, I mean, there were some key players in the game for me. Obviously, Fraulein F. Reckless, I think, scored 66 points for Dock City. That's over half the Dock City total, which is why, obviously, they put Fraulein F. Reckless on for that last jam. Such a points machine in this game. But I mean, in terms of Paris, obviously they had some strong jammers like Legs and Lamoche. But Bonnie to Girl, you know, star pass. I think where did it end up with Bonnie to Girl on the score? 16 points, a joint third. Best score of a Paris, and that's as a pivot blocker.
Sure,
primarily.
yeah, almost every really important point of the game, and I mean point as in moment of the game, Bonnie was on the track and completely involved in play. A very intelligent, you can see why Bonnie spends a lot of time with that pivot stripe on the helmet.
Fantastic game to start us off. Let's hope the rest of the games this weekend just follow this and keep this level of excitement up, because if it does, I don't know if anybody, let alone us, is going to have a voice left at the end of this weekend.
Exactly. Well, we are thrilled that you've been here to join us from Malmo, hosted by the Crime City Rollers. This is just the first game of the European Regional Championships. Coming right up after a break is Tiger Bay versus Antwerp. On behalf of Sven Will I Be Famous, I am Gretchen Little, signing off. Yes. So
Oh yeah, they're there.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm ready.
Billy's just got to try and get a script.